the next episode of Taste Like Disney. My name is Joey, and today we will be making marshmallow pudding, which is something that Walt Disney would have enjoyed back in the 50s. His favorite dessert was actually pie, but today I thought I would make marshmallow pudding. It's just a plain, simple dessert, but delicious nonetheless. Actually, I've never had it, but I'm thinking it's going to be good. You know, it sounds good. There's a sauce that you put on top of it, so we shall see. Okay, and before we get started here, I would like to tell you that my dog Sophie edits these videos, and she won't let me see them. So she's obviously up to something. I mean, eventually I'm going to find out what. But yes, so she's also my producer, my editor, and she actually picks everything that we do on here. So it's just I'm in front of the camera. Everything else you see is all her. So yeah, but what? I'm sorry. And she can't talk. Obviously, she's a dog, but she can write. So she writes things on note cards so I can understand what she's asking me or saying to me. So, yes, Sophie, she has a question. All right. Okay, so let's see what Sophie's got on her mind here. You forgot to shave again. Sophie, you're becoming obsessed with that. Okay, I know. I forgot to shave again. I know. It's becoming a thing, isn't it? I was actually considering growing a beard. So what do you think about that? No. Okay. I don't know. It was just a thought. It was a quick thought. I don't think I would actually go through with it, but I think it would itch probably too much. But anyway, thank you, Sophie. Thanks for noticing. You're obsessed with that, but that's okay. So anyway, back to the show. Actually, butterscotch was Walt Disney's favorite pudding, but today we'll be making the marshmallow pudding. And he also liked bread pudding, pies I mentioned, Jell-O. He is like the simple desserts from the 50s. So let's do it. And Sophie is telling me that I forgot to mention that this recipe for the marshmallow pudding can be found in this book, Eat Like Walt, which is probably my favorite book that I own. It is amazing. And I will put a link to it in the description. Thank you, Sophie. Okay, so for the pudding, we'll need 2 teaspoons of Knox gelatin, a half a cup of cold water, and after that, we'll need a cup of hot water. Actually, it'll have to be boiling, and also 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, juice from 1 lemon, and also whipped cream at the end if you want that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is dissolve the gelatin in cold water for 15 minutes. And while we do that, I will show you a video of me shopping for plants. All right, then you're going to add 1 cup of boiling water to the gelatin and let that cool. Okay, and now we're going to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. We'll use the whites for the pudding, and then we're going to use the yolks for the sauce. And I've done this before, so we'll see how this goes. So what I always do is just kind of put the yolk back and forth through the white, or through the shell, I should say. And then you can separate as much as you want to. So some people you can also dump it into a bowl and take it out, with your hands, but I always just do it like this. All right. And we'll do the second one. All right. So this is actually working. And I didn't make a gigantic mess. Okay, so then now you're going to whisk the egg whites until they are stiff. Should do it. Yeah, I always learned with the way you do that is you look for it says to you whisk them until peaks start to form. So I don't know, because it kind of looks like mountain peaks, kind of sort of. Okay, and then you're going to slowly add the cooled gelatin to the egg whites, very slowly. I guess I could have used something other than this bowl to pour it with. It probably worked out a lot better, and then you're going to slowly mix in the sugar. Okay, and then you're going to whisk in the lemon juice. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to let this cool some more, and hopefully it'll set up a little bit better. I haven't made pudding from scratch in a long time, so there's a chance that I botched something up. Okay, so while we're doing that, we're going to make our sauce. Sophie! So Sophie's leaving here. She doesn't think this is going to turn out. Alrighty, so we're going to make our sauce. So the sauce consists of 2 cups of milk, 2 yolks from our separated eggs, 2 tablespoons sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Sophie has no faith in me. She could be right, though. Okay, you're going to heat your 2 cups of milk over medium heat, and just get it warm. Make sure it doesn't boil because it will scald and be ruined. All right, then you're going to add your egg yolks. Your sugar, then your teaspoon of vanilla. All right, then you're going to leave this on the stove, and you have to stir it constantly for 15 minutes. So while we do that, I will show you another random video. 15 minutes, so we'll take that off the heat, let that sit there. Okay, here we go, guys. So I put this in the freezer, and it actually hardened up a little bit enough so it's a consistency that you can actually scoop out. I think what I did, I didn't, first of all, I did not cool the gelatin long enough, and I also didn't whip the egg whites long enough. So you should definitely do that. All right, so we're going to scoop out some of the pudding, if you want to call it that. There we go. And then the odd thing is that the sauce, it said, it's still hot, so we'll see what happens. But so you're going to scoop some of the sauce on there. I don't think I'll put a whole lot. Yeah, I'll put a little bit more, but. And then also, if you'd like, you can do some whipped cream. Look at that. Marshmallow pudding. Okay, so once again, I'm kind of self-conscious about eating on camera. It's just a thing of mine. Hopefully someday I'll get over it. So I'm going to give this a try, though, because hopefully it's not too bad. All right. Here we go. Okay. I got to be honest, guys. It was actually delicious. It didn't set up, it didn't set up the way it should. I mean, that was my fault. But yeah, it was really good. It was lemony. It was because I tasted it without the sauce. And without the sauce, it wasn't very good because all you could taste was the lemon. But you add the sauce, which basically tastes like a custard, and it kind of cuts the lemon, taste. You can still taste the lemon, but it's not as strong. And the custard adds to it with the whipped cream. It was actually delicious. It just, I didn't get it to set up, like it should. And Sophie bailed on me. Thank you, Sophie. I don't blame her for that. But anyway, so it was actually delicious. And I think I would try and make it again and see if I can get it right. It looked a little strange, but again, it didn't set up the way it should. It should have been thicker. Yes, next time, do the egg whites longer. And the other oh yes, make sure the gelatin's cool. I was kind of rushing. It wasn't cool enough. So yeah, just imagine sitting around the TV after dinner, eating your dessert, watching Walt Disney's Disneyland, which turned into Walt Disney Presents, which then turned into Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Then it was the Wonderful World of Disney, and then Disney's Wonderful World, and on and on. It changed a lot after that. I actually remember the theme song to Disney's Wonderful World. Welcome to Disney's Wonderful World. Not good. But anyway, so just imagine sitting by the TV watching Davy Crockett, or the Swamp Fox, or Alfego Baca, or even Texas John Slaughter, and saying to yourself, who in the heck made this marshmallow pudding? So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button on the bottom left. I believe that's where it is. If you didn't like this video, I don't blame you. But you should also hit the subscribe button. And if you're confused by all this, just think about how I feel. Wow.